Hey everyone, and welcome to Tarsus, a city in present-day Turkey, where today we are going to have a battle. And not only are we going to have a battle, but we're going to have a 4 versus 4 battle. Now, very quickly, I think we can go ahead and kick off right into the army comps. We'll start with the attackers. And on the attacking side right here, we have Seleucid. Seleucid is being played by M.W. Koala. Now, Seleucid has let's see. We've got some Camel Spearmen, Syrian Heavy Archers. Jen is a Royal Peltis. He has a Greek Ballista behind. And then a bunch of Thorax Swords over here with some Silver Shield Pikes. Oh, and then we do also have a mercenary Syrian Armored Elephant. Right next to Seleucid is Egypt. Now, Egypt is being commanded by TKW. Now, Egypt here has 2 Tarentine Cavalry here, 2 Hellenic Royal Guards. So, man, they've got 4 really good pike units. Royal Thorax Swords, which is very good. I would say they're probably not quite as good as the Galatian Royal Guard, but they are very good. Thorough Spears, Royal Thorax Sword, Gen, Galatian Royal Guard, gosh, they must be on Ultra Funds here. Egyptian Infantry on the towers here, some Thorax Swords as well, and a Greek Heavy Onager. Now his archers are 3 Mercenary Cretan Archers and 1 Nubian Bowman. Yeah, so that's kind of an interestingly, usually the rule is 4 range units, but as you can see, Egypt here actually has 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 units here. Now, right next to Egypt, we have got Sparta, and Sparta is being brought by Geno Max. And Geno Max here, let's see, on the tortoises here, 2 units of Spartan Hoplites. Royal Spartans on the tower, Spartan Hoplites again, another Spartan Hoplite. Then, interestingly, his Perioikoi, probably butchered that, pikes are on this guy, and then Spartan Hoplites on that tortoise. Then Royal Spartan Gen, another Royal Spartan. Does he only have 1 pike unit? He does have a Greek Heavy Onager. Yeah, I think he's only got 1 pike unit. Interesting. I guess really, like, considering the pikes that they have between Egypt and Seleucid, Sparta probably didn't need to bring a ton of pikes in this one. Now, finally on attack is Arverni, and Arverni is being commanded by Jerry Garay, and he is bringing, let's see, Oathsworn, 4 units Oathsworn on the towers, a unit of Chosen Swords in the gallery, 2 units of Heavy Horse and a Noble Horse Gen, 2 Celtic Slingers, and I'm going to assume 2 Gallic Hunters, which we can't see. 4 units of Chosen Spears, and 3 units of Chosen Swords. So, kind of an interesting army build for a couple of the attacking armies, I would say. For an attacker, this is a very heavy spear army, especially for Arverni. It's a lot of Chosen Spears. I'm not quite sure why he has so many of them. Another thing, 4 units of Oathsworn, all of them on the towers. You probably don't want to lead off with your Oathsworn on the towers right off the bat, just because they're going to get chewed to pieces by archers on the walls. And Sparta, only one unit of pikes, and he's got the pike on the tortoise. That's a bad idea. By having your pikes on a tortoise, they're very, very, very exposed to things like archers or artillery, and so typically, honestly, they're going to be pushing up, and these pikes are just going to get really chewed up if they focus them, so we'll see how that ends up going. The Egypt army, I would say, is relatively standard, especially for ultra funds. You know, a lot of high-level units. And then the Seleucid army was pretty typical, I would say. A lot of thorax swords, stuff like that. Now, on defense, we've got Tylus, and Tylus is being brought by Independent. Let's see what he decided to do. A lot of tribal warriors, Celtic skirmishers. Wow, 5 units of Oathsworn? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units of Oathsworn. Celtic warriors, Thracian warriors, and wow, a lot of Celtic tribesmen, and it's a really kind of a hodgepodge here. And then more tribal warriors over on this side. Now, right in the middle here is the Odrysian Kingdom, and the Odrysian Kingdom is being commanded by Dagger McStabby, and he's bringing, looks like a lot of Thracian bows, Thracian bowmen, lots of Thracian nobles. 1, 2, 3, 4 units of Thracian nobles. And then looks like the rest of it is pretty much all Thracian warriors. Thracian warriors are very, very good armor piercing, but very low armor, so you got to be careful with them. And then finally, or not finally, but next is Nabatea, being commanded by Crazy Town Crazy. Now, being Nabatea is kind of an interesting one because they don't have a ton of high tier units, especially not in the sword column. Their highest tier on sword is called a noble sword, and I personally am not a huge fan. Nabatean Axe Warriors, Armored Desert Hoplites, Nabatean Heavy Archers, Armored Desert Hoplites, which is pretty typical for Nabatea. 2 Nabatean Thorax, Noble Sword. Yeah, lots of Axe Warriors, and lots of Hoplites. Pretty typical for Nabatea, I would say. Now, Nabatea does also have 2 units of Desert Lancers and a unit of Scythe Chariots. And then the Odrysian Kingdom has 3 units of Thracian Royal Cav, which is very good. Now, the final defender, we'll just start here because they're already here with Galatia. Got 1 unit of Light Horse, 2 units of Mercenary Cappadocian Cav, then 2 units of Noble Horse. Now, Galatia is being commanded by the Bee Man. Now, he also has Galatian Legionaries, 3 units there, bunch of Naked Swords back here, Galatian Noblemen back here, which is a spear unit, then a ton of Galatian Legionaries, and looks like 3 units of Mercenary Syrians and 1 Celtic Slinger. And, yep, so that's going to be all of the players. Let's go and kick this one off, because as you just saw when we were looking at this little force right here, it looks like this is going to be a pretty quick one. Pretty quick start, I guess I should say. Though honestly, the battle itself is only 25 minutes long. So as you can see right off the bat, Nabatea is already headed out with his cavalry. And yep, Galatia is going to follow it right behind. Then we got a Scythe Chariot coming right behind that. The Cav is visible to Arverni now. Which Arverni actually, let me be honest, if there's any of the armies that would be best to counter this, it'd probably be Arverni, because Arverni went so heavy on their spears. Not only on their spears, but they also have a great amount of cav here to deal with this kind of stuff. I still don't think it's probably enough, but of all the armies attacking, they're probably the best setup to defend this. Now, their defense was not the greatest start, just because they were very clumped up. They started getting hit by artillery just right off the bat, immediately. They are moving their siege towers up. Alright, here comes the chariots. Alright, the chariots are moving out, and right behind the chariots we've got the Galatian Cav coming behind, the Cappadocians and the Light Horse. Then I assume right up there's the Thracian Royal Cav, which is a very good unit. I really like those Thracian Royal Cav. Now, what's interesting is, he is set up here. He's got 4 units of spearmen, and they're all pretty good spearmen. And he also has 3 units of pretty decent cav. Now, the one thing that I'm kind of surprised, he has left his units in this kind of clumped formation. And as you can see, they're still trying to get shots on those guys. Now, interestingly, they are pushing right down the middle. And Arverni has actually taken his cav off to the right a tiny bit here. Kind of intrigued by that. It's leaving a big hole here between the Chosen Spears and his cavalry. So I'm kind of concerned that these archers are very open, because look at those Gallic hunters that are finally, you can finally see them. They're completely and totally exposed here. Yeah, he's about to lose that entire unit of archers because of that. And he's not sending his infantry to go support it either. Look at that. They are already, oh man, let's look at that. 55 kills on that one charge from the Noble Cav. That's, or the Desert Heavy Lancer, sorry. And he finally sent the swords to try and go help with that. But look at that. They're just going to come right around and get into the Celtic Slingers. And here comes the biggest worry. The chariots are going to come in, and they're going to run right down these lines. He's not even turning any of his spears to counter that either. The spears would be the perfect counter to it. We do have a big mosh pit here. We've got 3 units of the defending cav against 3 units of the attacking cav, with the Arverni general involved in that combat. Now the chariots are already up to 80, what did it say, 85? 124, yeah, like, that's how quickly they are racking up kills here. Yep, and Galatia is in combat with some light horses as well, which is good. And then he's got his Cappadocians that came in as well. But yeah, so the spears are trying to help out, finally. But look, here's the rest of it. The 4 units of Thracian Royal Cav. All of this was sent to deal with the initial sally out that this Thracian Royal Cav is about to just do some work, man. The cool thing about the Thracian Royal Cav is they do have javies, so they can get kills before they even get their charge off, which is fantastic for them. Now, where did the chariots go? The chariots, 319 kills already. Look at this. They've just been wiping through these units here. The combination of the slingers and the chosen swords. The chosen spears finally got in. Let me see. They haven't killed any of them. Oh, man. So these chosen spears have cavalry counter tactics, and they aren't using it. They need to be using that. They did get a really good pilotos there. They got, 3 of them? 2. We've got 2 of the chariots there. So that is a start at least, but that's what they need to keep doing. They need to keep getting pila shots onto these guys. The best way to take out chariots is javelins. Real quick, let's go and take a look what's going on over here. The pikes got their tortoise up, and they only took a couple losses, so they got away with that one. And then they do have some units getting up on the walls here, which aren't getting shot yet, but I'm assuming they will soon. And then they are breaking down another one here. Now, Egypt pushed up a couple of siege towers onto this wall and starting to land, and then the Adrizian Kingdom is starting to counter that, while Seleucid does seem to be pushing on this far left. Alright, we'll go back and we'll get back to the juicy Cav sally out. This is a really good one. Now, Sparta did send over a unit of citizen Cav to help out, and Egypt sent over their Tarentine Cav, which, once again, is, they technically broke the rules by bringing that one. Now, it does look like the Cav is starting to tone down a little bit here. The Thracian Royal Cav is doing pretty good as well. 83, 53, and 73 on those guys. They're doing pretty decent. They need to get out and try and get some more, charges. Maybe charge in and out of this. Yeah, Arverni actually ended up losing this cavalry fight, so actually Galatia is about to be freed up to come help the Thracian Royal Cav. Now, he's going to send this Royal Cav to chase his Tarentines. It's kind of a pain in the butt, because those Tarentine Cav being ranged Cav, they can kind of run around and just stay out of range for a long time, and it's super annoying. But Galatia is hopefully going to... There we go. Looks like maybe they're all going to go return? No. Yeah, it looks like they're going to stay out and maybe keep, being a pain in the butt. Now, to be honest with you, it does look like the Arverni has really lost just a ton here. You know, their Oathsworn, they didn't even really make it to the walls. I think they took them off. So they didn't even get to that. And everything they've got is just so injured. Yeah, and they're about to take more losses here. I hate to say, but Arverni is pretty much just lost its fighting effectiveness, because the issue is that, you know, if they were already in the walls and they had this left, sure, you know, there's some effectiveness there. But now they have this tiny little force that they have to break through these walls with. And it's just not going to go well. Sparta is engaged over here. Got Spartan hoplites going up against the armored desert hoplites from Nabatea. And then right here next to the gate, we have Royal Spartans just getting annihilated. Combination of 2 units of Axe Warriors and 1 armored desert hoplite holding them back. But Sparta does have his archers moving up, hopefully to try and support. What's that? Oh, Rhodian, okay. I thought it said Balearic, so I was like, what? Now, right next to the wall, we got a Spartan hoplite just getting shot here by the tower. And then these guys are not moving up yet. Egypt is into the walls here. Getting a really good fire on these Thracian warriors. This is a really good angle here. The Thracian warriors ran right into that. Look how many were killed by that. They're so low armor that those jabby throws are just extremely effective against them. And now they're getting triple teamed. And honestly, I'm not really sure why they're throwing this other unit into this, because they're just too late on that. You know, he's going to throw the unit in over here, but now this unit's going to get flanked. Even if this guy gets in time, this one will already have taken quite a bit of damage. So this is a Thracian noble versus a Galatian Royal Guard. I think the Royal Guard wins this. They are very, very good. Maybe if the noble had... Wow, they are winning. I guess, you know, it does... I guess it makes sense. The Royal Guard is very high armor. So the Thracian nobles are kind of just ripping right through that armor. Royal Thorax swords also coming in, hitting on this left side. They're just going to wipe out that Thracian warrior there. Now, it does look like the Odrysian Kingdom did win on the walls. Thracian warriors... tiny unit of Thracian warriors here, and the 2 really small ones there. Now, Tylus and Seleucid are really just duking it out right here. We got a bunch of thorax swords in here, silver shield pikes. The issue is, okay, they do have them out, but I don't know what they're really looking at. Dude, look at those guys. So I forgot to say, we are using the Ancient Empires mod for this. It is just a reskin, so it just changes the looks of the units, but I'll tell you what, those silver shield pikes are some of the coolest looking units in this mod. They're so awesome. So you got some thorax swords going up against the tribal warriors here. And I wonder if he's gotten the Oathsworn in here yet. I don't think so. No, it doesn't look like it. He's got some Thracian warriors, but they're going to fall back from the archer fire. Yeah, it's a big downside to Tylus is the lack of archers, unfortunately. Oh, this sucks. So a good tip, if you're using a tortoise, don't go next to the towers here, because this will happen. You'll get this wall that doesn't really break down. You want to kind of come to a good open area to use those tortoises so that you don't glitch out like that. It kind of sucks when it happens, unfortunately. So Arverni is... Yep, they're pushing. Wonder, did they... So Galatian Legionaries are up here. Oathsworn are getting up. Wonder, what happened to the first unit of Oathsworn? Did they not finish? I guess they didn't ever finish getting up the siege tower. Yeah, just look how small this is. 123, 17, 93, 47, 66, 147, and 146. Arverni's army is so tiny at the moment. Galatia's going to be able to easily hold them off. I wonder, did they... Looks like the Cav finally got finished off as well. Sorry, I missed that, but I just figured we needed to see what was going on everywhere else as well. But yeah, it does look like they were able to finish off the Odrysian Kingdom Cav and the Galatian Cav. So now Sparta seems to be making a solid push here, except for archers. So they brought their pikes in to go push this left flank, but the issue is that Nabatia's got a unit of their heavy archers, even two, depending on where they got to. They could very, very easily deal with those. So it looks like he might be trying to put them into combat over here. Yep. Oh, look at these helmets, guys. They're so cool looking. I was kind of hoping that they would give them the Corinthian helmets, but it's fine. Can't have everything, I guess. Now, got Axe Warriors moving forward, trying to catch these archers that they were trying to send up there. Oh, wow. Galatia actually sent his cav all the way over here. Is that all that's left of them? We've got the Cappadocians that are taking out the Tarentines over here. And then the small unit of Noble Horse, which is trying to finish off the Greek heavy onager here, which is a really good target because I bet they still had ammo left. They would have been able to use that to do a ton of damage. Now, Egypt is trying to use his archers and slingers and stuff to kill those from afar if they can. I'm kind of surprised that Seleucid didn't send his camel spears to try and zone them out. Egypt has got a little bit of an interesting push here. These Thracian nobles are still in combat, and they... Oh, man. Thracian Royal Guard, 143, 258. Yeah, those Thracian... Ugh, the Galatians are disgusting, man. I saw... What is it that has... Something over here has 258... At 260 kills on that Glacial Royal Guard. We also have some Thorough Spears and a Thorax Sword coming in that caught some of the Noble Swords over here. But the Nabateans do have support of the Archers and an Armored Desert Hoplite as well. Now back in the back, the the Noble Horse left the Greek Onager and came and charged the Archers. They did end up breaking... but they did get some kills, it looks like. 170 kills on the Noble Horse. That's nothing to joke about. Oh, we got the elephants from Seleucid in here. Now, the biggest issue for Tylus is they don't have a great counter to this. They don't have... they didn't bring... Let me see. Their spears are over here. Which, do they... Yeah, bonus for large, which is good. But the biggest issue is really that they just don't have any archers. So what their best bet here is to try and get as many javelin tosses into these as they possibly can. If they can get some really good javelin tosses into the elephants, they could really wipe them out very quickly. But if they don't, they are just going to they're just getting swamped by them. Those elephants will walk right through them. So we'll see how they end up handling that. So far, I don't see a whole lot being thrown in that direction. The gen for Seleucid is over here. Royal Peltist and a Silver Sealed Sword. Gosh, those things are so good looking. Look at that. Oh, and I will say the Royal Peltist in this mod is probably one of my favorites, though. I love the shields. I just think they look fantastic. Now, look at that crossfire. This is a really good idea here. So they basically created a kill box. They put a unit over here and a unit over here and basically said, come to me. And so the two units, they basically had to choose which way they go. Send one way, one the other. And what happened is you basically get this crossfire of javelin throws that go into this little area, and it is just, oh, it's horrifying. Now, they are kind of taking on the Silver Shield right on. What I would suggest is try sneaking through this edge here and getting around. Up there's archers. There you go. So Odrysian Kingdom sent over his archers and is using flame shot on the elephants. And the elephants are out of control. Now, the biggest thing for them is, yeah, you know what? Titus is going to lose some Celtic tribesmen here. But guess what? Seleucid's going to lose Royal Peltis, and he's going to lose the camel spears. I think that is a good trade. Those tribesmen, they're cheap. You know, unfortunately, they're going to have to suck it up. Now, the ones you don't want to get in, you don't want to get these tribal warriors or your Oathsworn in there. But other than that, you know, yeah, like I think that's a good target there because they are killing probably far more of the Seleucids than they are of your guys. Yeah, I think it was a good shot. Good shot there. Good job by the Odrysian Kingdom for going over there and helping out. Now, Sparta, oh, Sparta's now getting surrounded. So we got Nabatean Axe Warriors on one side and 2 units of Galatian Legionnaires on the other. And then on this side, we've got Nabatean Axe Warriors really holding back, what, 4 units of Spartans there. On the outside, jeez. Yeah, man, the Arverni just, oh, that hurts, guys. Look at that. That's those Oathsworn that went up there. Archer fire, I guarantee it. They just, oh, yeah, look at this. Just annihilated that Oathsworn unit. Oh, man. So, there's a couple things in this battle, I think, that are good, you know, lessons to learn, you know. One thing I would say, if one of your allies is getting swarmed by Cav outside of the settlement, you should probably help them, and if you... as you're doing so, you need to kind of pause your attack a little bit. You don't want to be attacking separately unless it's kind of a planned thing, because then you kind of get focused down, and so you got to be very careful of that. Honestly, right now, the best looking push is from the Seleucids. They have been making good progress here. Oh, and now they've got the Greek the ballista in here. Okay. I think what they're probably going to try and do is probably shoot right into these Oathsworn right here. Either that or these guys over here, but they need to be very careful because they're about to lose it. The unit from Tarsus is about to come right through here and take out that entire... Yeah, he's running the crew away, which is a good idea. If you can save the crew, you can usually save the unit because the, you know, it's easier to kill the crew than it is to kill the actual ballistas themselves. So he's going to get his Royal Peltis in on those Thracian warriors, and they are losing. Yeah, I guess it is 141 versus 60, so now these 2 camel spears are getting chewed to pieces because they're cavalry in combat with the Oathsworn, and those Oathsworn are really just tearing them apart. On this side, we've got the Silver Shields sitting here, guarding this flank. The Celtic tribesmen really probably just going to come over and kind of keep them there. Egypt looks like they're pretty much out here. We got Thracian warriors coming out on the Royal Thorax swords. Let me see what do they? Oh man, they look so good. I love the shields. Yeah, they look great. I've been really enjoying this mod. I think it does a fantastic job on the reskins here. Hellenic Royal Guard over here. Yeah, what's basically going to eventually happen is they're eventually going to surround this entire thing just because there's just not going to be enough to hold all the flanks. Yeah, and the Hellenic Royal Guard in here is just getting eaten up by the Nabatean Thorax pikes. The Hellenic Royal Guard is a better unit, but it was already injured, so it means that they were just outnumbered and getting poked to death by the Nabatean Thorax pikes. Got Armored Desert Hoplite came in to back up the the Galatian Legionaries here, with a Syrian Archer coming in to help. I'm guessing, yeah, out of ammo, I assume, and they're just gonna go in. Yeah, Nabatea didn't even get to use one of their Thorax pikes. Now, this, I think, has really come down to a combination of just, I think, good teamwork on one side, good communication by the defenders, and just kind of an uneven attack by the attackers, unfortunately, which kind of led to just some, you know, some bad moves here. Arverni was kind of left out, kind of all by himself over there, which is something you got to be very careful of. If you're going to attack by yourself, you got to understand that you're probably going to be sallied on, and you got to be ready for it. And, you know, if you're not confident in your abilities to micro against stuff like that, or if you just haven't built your army for it, then it's just going to beat you up. So I think that's going to be the wrap of that side there. Seleucid is gone. And I think it really just looks like it's going to be the finishing up of Egypt here, which is just the Hellenic Royal Guard, which is actually kind of interesting here. Now the defender, or the attackers, are defending the breach against the defenders. And then he's got his thorax sword here, which is doing really good. 169 kills, and they have not lost much at all. The Royal Guard is, let's see, 180. Wow. Yeah, the Hellenic Royal Guard is very, very good. So Egypt has actually done really good here. All of his archers are doing really well. 157, 106, and 105. And does he still have a Royal Guard left? Where did I see that? Oh, the Hellenic Royal Guard is just, wow. Just really racking up kills here because all these units are just walking right through into their pikes. So they are, geez, 279, 80. And then he's got the Royal Thorax Sword protecting his flank over here, which is probably good because it looks like most of the unit for the Royal Guard is over here. So his Royal Thorax Sword can really defend on this side. But there's Nabatea. 398 kills with his gen. Holy crap. 417. Good Lord, Nabatea. Jeez, that is just disgusting. Ton of kills, and now he's going to get into the back of the pikes, and I think we should just, yeah. So shaken from army losses, but also from getting charged in the back. Did the Royal Guard? Okay, no, the Thorax Swords haven't broken, but here comes the Noble Horse again, or the Noble Cav coming back in, just racking up kills. I think they're going to break 500 kills before the end of this. I honestly think they will. They're at 484, and they're going to get, it's a 2 to 3 more charges. Now, Galatia is coming in around behind here, basically just trying to get the backs of these. And what's the Royal Guard is at 450 kills. And even the Royal Thorax Sword is doing okay. He's going back into the Thorax Swords now. Oh, that hurts. 466 on the Royal Guard, 193 on the Thorax Swords, and the Noble Cavs at 491. Actually, the Egypt's archers did come back very briefly, so he was getting a couple pot shots in with them. Then here comes the nail in the coffin. Galatian legionaries coming in, and they're going to wrap up these Hellenic Royal Guard before they reach 500. Now the Nabatean Gen, is he going to break it? Oh yeah, he's going to break it from charging these guys. I think he's just trying to make sure they don't come back. Oh no, he didn't make it! No! Oh, that's the end of that one. Let's go look at the kills. Let's see. On the defenders, the leader was Crazy Town Crazy with 2,639. Dagger McStabby with 1421, 1382, and 1719 for B-Man. On the attacking side, that's just rough. So the top kills was MW Koala with 2291 and TKW with 2219. Sparta and Arverni. Sparta, unfortunately, was really screwed by Arverni getting annihilated. That just, it means that Sparta was literally double teamed from the beginning. The other two, they were taking on, 1v1s respectively pretty much, so they didn't really have as much of a, they got to fight pretty much. Now, Crazy Town Crazy, 493 with his general, 206 with one Desert Heavy Lancer, and 684 with the Scythe Chariots. His archers all did pretty solid. Looks like this one barely got to combat. 147, 117, 136. Armored Desert Hoplites, 123. 120 on the Noble Swords. And then his Axe Warriors all did pretty good. Now, Dagger McStabby. His Cav all did pretty solid. 112, 101, 97. Archers, they did okay, but Thracian bowmen are the cheapest bows that Thrace can, or the cheapest range unit Thrace can, or the Odrysian Kingdom can get. So, a little bit different. 217 on the Thracian nobles, 163 on these guys. Then all of his Thracian warriors did pretty solid. Independent. Let's see. Oathsworn all did pretty good. 187, 126, 135. Thracian warriors did okay, and then tribal warriors all did just pretty standard. 134, 149. So very well done. B-Man, his Cav all did good. 170, 160, 149. Archers did great. 154, 167. Galatian Legionaries, 228, 165, 160. And then a lot of the naked swords really didn't even see combat. Now Sparta just got the short end, I think. Arverni getting sallied out on like that really just kind of exposed Sparta to a 2v1, and so unfortunately he just really didn't get to do what I think he wanted to. Jin with 60, Royal Spartans 119, 80, 118 on these guys. Yeah, unfortunately just not great. Arverni, oh, poor Arverni. His archers just got annihilated by Cav, 10, 10, 7, 0. His Cav just did what they could, 52, 33, 34. 105 on the Chosen Swords, 115 on the Oathsworn. Unfortunately, not great. Egypt, 193 on the Royal Thorax Swords. Tarentine Cav got it just destroyed. His archers all did pretty good. Egyptian infantry, not so great. The Galatian Royal Guard, 143, 291. 477 on this Hellenic Royal Guard. 165 on this Royal Thorax Sword. MWK Koala, MW Koala. 236 on the Royal Peltus Jin. 493. Very well done with the elephants. Archers all did solid. 100, 100, 100, 118. 176 and 265 on the pikes. Then all the thorax did pretty well. Silver Shields 135. All pretty well there. Well, guys, that is going to be the end of that. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed this, don't forget to go hit that like button. And if you're new to the channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button as well. We will see you guys next time.